Hello, everybody, and welcome back to 50 Shades of Tay. I'm Taylor Gonzalez, and today I have not one, but two very special guests, two friends of mine that I am so happy to be reunited with. We were just talking before we started this interview, it's been almost a whole year since we partied in West Hollywood together, a night of shenanigans, but I have Natasha Tosini and Stephen Staley here, and together they have directed and produced an upcoming horror film that I am so excited to talk about with them called Viral Haunt. Steven, Natasha, how are you guys doing today?
Very good.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're good,
good to see you
thank
again.
you. I know it's
Oh,
so nice to see you. Oh my God.
it's
Good time
crazy how
now,
long
isn't it?
it's been like
Yeah.
a year almost. That's nuts. That doesn't feel right.
No,
That's
no, yeah.
crazy.
Good memories. Good
Yeah.
times.
Yes.
I know every once in a while I'll like look through all the pictures and all the videos of us from the club. The funniest thing though is do you guys remember at one of the clubs, I think it was the first one we went to, the two-story club. Nikayla ran into somebody dressed as Pinocchio and then took a picture and sent it into the group chat and said, first picture from Pinocchio unstrung. Do you guys remember that?
Oh my God, I
I
can't remember
do.
that.
I do. I remember that in
Do
the downstairs.
you?
Oh, yeah, I do. I do remember that. Yeah. It's a good night that was. That was probably the funniest night, I think.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
Very
good.
fun.
And
It
then Steve, I
was.
remember we had those like boba drinks at like the second or third bar. That was just like the
Yeah,
best night ever.
yeah,
That
yeah.
So
was
much
so
fun.
good.
But since I have seen you guys have worked together to come up with this film, and I was reading about it this morning. I am so excited to talk with you guys about it. How would you describe your upcoming film, Viral Hunt, for people who haven't had a chance to look into it yet?
Do you want to go, Chop? You want me to
It's up
go?
to you, Shop. Do you want to go?
Yeah, it's basically how could I say? It's a group of YouTubers that have got had a lot of success. First of all, they set up yeah, if you want to call it a YouTube channel, and they go to haunted places and film what they find. And then during the journey, they realized that they could get a lot more views and a lot more interest if they started faking things, for views and stuff. And then they go on this journey and they end up getting a bit of bad feedback from people saying, this is fake, this is ridiculous, etc., etc. And it pushes them into actually doing something where they will be challenged and they end up going to somewhere that is genuinely haunted. And that's where the action unveils and it starts to fall apart for them. And it's good to see them struggle with
Yeah.
what's going on. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
That's such a fun premise. How did you guys come up with the idea for this film? Because you guys also wrote it together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the actual idea was Tasha's idea. We were approached by the executive producers and they said, what ideas have you got? So me and you started working, didn't we, at some of our
Yeah.
ideas, and they liked Tasha's the best.
Yeah.
So you started
So
developing that idea, didn't you?
yeah. Do you know what? I don't actually, it's such a boring story, but I actually don't know where I got it from. I kind of just creatively, I just make things up in my head all the time. Like every time I'm having a daydream, I'm thinking about like slaying a dragon or something. So I was like, right, I can do this easily, just make stuff up on the spot. And we had like quite a few ideas. Both of us had loads of ideas, sent all of them, loads. And then they picked this one, obviously. So that was coming up with the idea was the easy part because I had like a short paragraph of like viral YouTubers, this happens. But then they picked it and we were like, oh shit, now we're gonna have to make it. And it was a lot harder to actually like come up with the treatment, which is like 3 pages, and then actually write the script. So yeah, I guess I came up with the big story points that happen, but we both put together like the filler and all the little bits and the drama and like the personalities of the characters and stuff.
Oh, very fun. And the title too is like perfect because it's only two words, but just from those two words, you get a picture and an idea of what the film's going to be about. Who came up with the title for the film?
I feel like that probably was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Again, we
because
just
you started developing the story before me. Like you
yeah.
had an idea of what type of characters you wanted into it, and then I
Yeah.
came and said, "Oh, I think it'd be interesting if this happened, or this happened, or this happened."
Yeah.
I think we spent ages on it, didn't we? Like it
So
must have
long.
must have been about 3 weeks, but it was like intense. Do you know what I mean? Like many long
Yes.
hours, didn't we? Constantly changing, updating. It wasn't just for us as well. It was actually for the executive producers because we needed to make it we needed to satisfy what they wanted to see. So we were
Yeah.
trying to please not only them but ourselves, weren't we?
Yeah. We're not really horror fans either, like either of us. So we don't like watching horror, but we do like making it.
Yeah.
So we kind of wanted to make something that we could enjoy watching as well. So it isn't like slasher gore fest. It's more like there's a real like story and a plot, and there's like things that go on, and there's like subplots, and there's a lot of like twists and turns that we wanted to add in. So it wasn't just like something that we'd watch and go, oh yeah, it's all right, but it's not my cup of tea. Like we wanted everyone to be able to watch it and go, oh yeah, that was good.
No, that's good to know because you guys know my boyfriend David. He's not a huge fan of like all the blood and all the gore. So I feel like this movie will be perfect for him because it's not,
Yeah.
heavily focused on that, and he'll be able to sit through this one without having to look away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll love this one,
Oh,
100%.
very exciting. So I've interviewed a few other like directing duos who have worked together, and I find that the process is different for everybody. But how did you guys collaborate together when you're both directors? Like, did you guys split up the scenes? Like, one of you directed one scene, or were you together the whole time? How did you guys collaborate?
Well, yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So originally, when we were writing the story, um, we both had large parts in the film, didn't we? And we realized this could be a problem. And it was actually the assistant director that pointed this out, and he was right to point it out because who's going to be behind the camera when we're both on screen so much? So, yeah, I decided to have. It made sense for me to have a smaller part in the film. And Tash, you were heavily involved in directing the actors, weren't you, in your
Yeah.
scenes? And during those scenes, I would be on the monitor and check that the acting performance and the camera work was okay. We were
Yeah.
also helped, a big help to the assistant director when we were both on screen. We could lean on his experience, which was really handy. But yeah, we did a bit of both, didn't we?
Yeah.
I was heavily on the monitor because I just wanted to make sure that the product was good.
Yeah.
And you were more creative than me.
Yeah.
The
I think
BI,
we're good at different things, aren't
yeah,
we? We've got
yeah,
different skills, I'd say. Steve's better at like the logistics and everything business wise that I definitely have no clue about. And I'm better at like creatively thinking about how things, do you know what I mean? Things like creative, little creative things. I'm better at those sort of things. Um, so it was easier for me to be like, oh, okay, so I can see it being this way, especially because it was my story as well. I could obviously, when I'd written it and like envisioned it in my head, I knew what it was going to look like, obviously. So when we were doing it, I could say, okay, so you guys do this, you guys do that. It was a lot easier for me to just pull it out because it was in my head, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you guys both have roles in this. Who are some of the other cast members that people can look forward to seeing?
Kelly,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kelly is from Cinderella's Curse. Kelly Rianne, she also did Winnie the Pooh too. She's done loads of stuff. To be fair, Kelly's great. She's one of the leads.
Danielle, Danielle Scott.
Danielle Scott.
Yeah,
She's in it as well. I'm trying to think who else that you might know. I think that might be it that you know up to this point. But we've got a lot of like newcomers that are really really good. So Jack Hoy is one of our leads. He plays Jake. So he plays my boyfriend in this. Um, Jack Hyde plays Richard.
yeah, yeah.
It's so hard for me to remember. Will
Will
Wickham,
plays Joe.
yeah,
Yeah,
plays Joe. We've got Robert Headley is Victor. We've got Sarah Lockett as a news reporter. God, David Sayers is a policeman. I'm trying to pull out everyone's name now. Who else is there? There's someone else. Ty
Ty White,
White
is
is the
it?
killer.
Ooh, nice.
And then obviously there's us two. Was that everyone? So there's there's six haunt hunters. There's us two, Kelly, Jack, and Will. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah,
So
that's so
I
fun.
think I've mentioned every single member of cast there, hopefully.
I'm very excited to see Kelly's role in this, and I'm also very excited to see all the newcomers that I haven't met yet. So this cast sounds very fun. Are these all
Yeah.
Yeah,
people that you guys have like collaborated with in the past and worked with in the past?
No, some of them was the first time on it, and
Yes.
we did spend a lot of time on the casting because we wanted to make sure it was good, didn't we? That's one
Yeah.
side. Obviously, being actors, we wanted to make sure that this was well acted, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Everywhere, like all in all positions, if we could, and I think we did good there, didn't we? We got
Yeah,
some
definitely. I
we
feel
got some
like
good people.
everyone was perfectly cast. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, we got some good people, didn't we?
Yeah. I feel like everyone was perfectly cast for the roles that they got.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like Will is Joe all over. Jack is Jake. Other Jack is Richard. Like they are their characters. So we were really lucky with the cast. And Kelly, obviously, she's great. She plays someone called Demi. And it's not a role that you've really seen Kelly in before. We wanted to kind of change it up. So Kelly obviously usually plays. So I'm assuming you've seen some things with Kelly and like Cinderella's Curse or Winnie the Pooh, for example. Um, but in this one, Kelly is kind of like she's a bit of a bitch. She's like really stuck up. She's like not very nice. So it's like completely different for what she's used to. But she was really excited to do that, and we were obviously excited to have her, and she smashed it.
Oh,
Um, so
that's
yeah,
great.
everyone was really good. Everyone was really, really good.
Oh, very excited for all these performances. So, since this movie deals with ghost hunting and the paranormal, I have to ask, do either of you believe in ghosts and have either of you ever experienced anything paranormal?
If I was gonna go,
Go on, Chopper. I want to hear your response.
I would, God, I'd probably say there is some truth in it. I'd probably say there would be. I've never really looked into it much. I've never investigated it. Do you know what I mean? But there seems to be too much evidence to suggest that there isn't such a thing as ghosts, if you want to say that. Have I ever experienced anything? Once, once in my
Oh
life when I was a kid. Look at you.
my God,
It
what?
was,
What did
I
you
mean, it was
experience?
something or nothing, but it, I was just in bed basically, and I woke up and I was facing the wall, and I could hear someone right behind me. Just when someone's there,
Hmm.
and this person was walking up and down the room, and I was petrified. I wouldn't turn around, and literally I was like, isn't you know what I mean? I talked myself to turn around, and I could hear this person, and the moment I turned around, no one was there, and that is the only
Damn.
time I've experienced something. Yeah, have you?
That's
Sure.
terrifying.
I
I
know.
think
Yeah.
I've seen ghosts before, but you know how your brain kind of convinces you that it's not real?
Hmm.
That's what happens to me every time I see anything or hear something. I'm always like, no, there's a logical explanation. But I 100% believe in ghosts, 100%. Because like there's other things like scientifically, energy cannot be destroyed, can it? It can only be transferred. So like our souls and the energy of us, even if we're not consciously ghosts, the energy of us and like the do you know what I mean? Like our soul, it can't go anywhere. No, they're definitely real, 100%. I think ghosts are real, definitely. And I think I've seen ghosts before, but it's happened. Honestly, my house, I think, is haunted because I've had so many experiences, I can't even like count it. But again, it's like my brain always goes, this isn't real. Like, so for example, I've got a sister and she's, I think, 3 or 4 years younger than me. And when we were younger, she must have been about 11 or like 10 or something. And she was upstairs in the bathroom and she looked in the mirror and she could see like she's got the same color hair as me, so like quite dark brown. And she could see like hair
Oh,
like float, like you know when you're in water
yeah.
and your hair's like floating, she could see like floating hair and she was like, what the hell? And she actually was like, why is my hair like that? And trying to like flatten her hair or whatever. And she looked behind, like she looked in the mirror, but like to the side, and behind her, she could see like a face. And she came running down the stairs. She was screaming and crying, saying, "We need to leave. We need to move out. We need to move out." Obviously, so I works in the real world. You can't just leave. So we were like, "It's fine. Don't worry." Other times, I heard like a banging. You know, if you had like a bouncy ball and you drop it on the floor and it bounces, but like a basketball, for example, the closer to the floor you drop it, the faster the taps are. So if you drop it from a high height, it's like boom, boom. But if it's close, it's like dum 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 sort of thing. I was in my bedroom at the time, and up the stairs, I could hear like a bouncy ball, like bouncing up the stairs. And then it came to outside my room, and I was like, "What the hell?" And it was just getting faster and faster, 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 faster. So I rang my mom, who was next door, because I was like scared. And she didn't answer the phone. I rang her twice, and I was like, "Why is she not answering the phone?" And then I heard the light in the bathroom turn on as if someone was using the bathroom, but I know that I'd left the light on. So it meant that the person that went in turned it off. And then when they left, they turned it on, which obviously is not, wouldn't happen. It was obviously reversed. And then they came and stood outside my room. I obviously thought it was my dad. And then they went back into the room that was my mum and dad's room. And I was like, what the fuck? Rang, obviously, spoke to my mum the next day and says, I called you. Why didn't you answer this weird stuff? And she says, I didn't get any calls. I was like, what the hell? Like, the call just didn't work. Like, it didn't come to her phone. Spoke to my dad, but I said, that wasn't me. Like, I wasn't outside your room. And I was like, what the hell? So that was another experience where I was like, okay, ghosts are definitely real. There's so many. I won't name them all because we'll be here all day, but I've had so many experiences in this house. They've got to be real, surely.
Oh my gosh. I think they're real. I haven't
Yeah.
really experienced anything yet myself yet, right? But do you guys know what the Queen Mary is? Have you guys heard of the Queen Mary? Like the famous it used to be a huge cruise ship, but now it's just kind of like permanently docked in Long Beach. It's supposedly really haunted, and
Oh my
I don't know if
God.
it's year round, but I know like in October around Halloween time they do like tours where you can, see where people have supposedly like experienced things, and I want to take that tour so
Oh my
bad.
God,
I
do
feel
it.
like it would be so much fun to go on an old haunted ship. I've been on the ship, but like during the daytime and like for Christmas stuff, but I've never gone specifically for the haunted tour. So I want to check that
Yeah.
out.
Oh my God, definitely go. I would die to go on that.
Did you guys happen to experience anything spooky while filming this movie? Like, did anything unusual happen? Any like strange sounds or lights flickering or anything that you didn't expect since this is, dealing with the paranormal?
It was definitely strange sounds, weren't they? But it was the crew making noises because during the film there was loads of moments where like jump scares, and it was funny, wasn't it? We were getting all
Yeah,
sorts. The
so
crew were
good.
like shouting out all sorts of random stuff. In terms of any haunted things, I don't think so. Did you, Chuck? Did you find
I
them?
don't think so. I didn't feel really scared. There was one room in the place that we filmed that I didn't want to go near because it felt weird, which was Will's room, the guy who plays Joe. Didn't want to go in
Similar.
that room. But then when I was in there with everyone else, it felt fine. So it didn't feel like I didn't at any point think, okay, I'm scared or like this
We
feels
did go
weird.
to a massive abbey, didn't we, to film as
Yeah,
well? It is genuinely haunted, and it's like one of the most haunted places in Britain, isn't it? But
yeah.
when we were there, we were that cold. We probably didn't even think about ghosts, did we? It
No,
was freezing.
honestly, it was ridiculous. It had like snowed the day before, and it was one of them places where there's no heating, obviously. There's half of the ceiling's not there. It's like the place is completely open, there's no windows. So we were not like safe from the elements at all. It was freezing.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Did you end up using like the snow in the movie? Oh,
We
that's cool
Yeah,
did,
we
because
used it.
we did for one scene, didn't we?
Yeah,
oh, there's I forget which movie it was, but there was a movie I watched last year where there was like a rainstorm and it took place like right after a murder. It was like a murder mystery type movie. I can't remember which one it was right now, but the rainstorm was like such a good scene, and I asked the directors about it, and they said that was not in the script. It really did pour rain that day, so it just like perfectly fit the mood. And so that to me, when you were talking about the snow right now, I was like, oh, that's cool because that's
yeah,
free snow. Like, you know what I mean? Like you didn't have
yeah,
to
yeah.
do
But
anything to get that. That's really awesome that you can incorporate that to the film.
yeah, yeah. Well,
That's
that's
what
Well,
what
we thought.
that's what I can't remember who said that. It might have been the assistant director. I can't remember. Obviously, you shop. I don't know. But they said instead of doing it indoors, why don't we just go outside for this scene? And it made
Yeah,
sense, didn't it? It was
yeah, because
something
the scene
different.
was meant to be in a bedroom, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah,
mm. Oh, that's awesome. But you guys, I
Yeah,
can't thank you both enough for taking the time out of your schedules to join me and to be reunited after almost a year, which is nuts to me. But
yeah.
I know this film is currently in post-production. Do you guys have an estimate of when and where people can check this movie out?
Yeah, I would pr I probably guess it's going to be around the summertime. Ultimately, it'd be up to the executive producers whenever they want to release it. However, yeah, I think it'll definitely be finished. Post-production will be finished probably around April, March, April time, and then it'll be over to them, and then they'll want to market it. And
Mm.
how long they want to market it, obviously, is up to them. But yeah, we might get to see it in the summer or late summer. You never know. So yeah, hopefully soon. Obviously, in terms of updates, we have got an Instagram page. We're going to leave updates on there. there'll be some press releases coming out as well. There's a few online already. But yeah, over the next 2 or 3 months, we'll just drop more bits of information.
Yeah, and where would be a good place for people to follow to keep up with all the updates that you guys are releasing?
Yeah, so our Instagram page is instagram.com/TAWELTD.
Perfect.
That is the only place at the moment, isn't it? We are going to get a website soon set up.
Yeah,
Well, that's going to follow. But yeah, for
Awesome.
now, it's predominantly the Instagram page.
All right,
yeah.
and I'll make sure to put a link to the Instagram page in the description of this video. So everybody watching, go follow that Instagram account and keep up with all the updates and all the news and the release date and everything. But see, Natasha, it's so good to see you guys, and congratulations on this. I'm so proud of you guys for doing this, and
Oh,
I
thank
can't wait to
you.
see it.
Yeah, no,
Oh my
yeah.
God, yay.
It'd be good. It'd be good for you to, yeah, to hear your feedback. But yeah, we think
Yeah,
we've got something good out, don't we?
yeah.
Especially for
Oh
the
my
first
God.
film as well.
Oh,
So
well,
good. And it's
Yeah.
honestly,
I
it's
can't wait.
so good. We've only seen the first edit and it's
Mhm.
absolutely amazing.
Oh,
I'm
that's so
obsessed with
cool.
it.
Oh, congratulations, you guys, and thanks again for joining me.
Oh, thank you for
Yeah,
having
no, thank
us.
you. It's good to see
Thank
you
you.
again.
Have a great rest of your day.
You too. See you
Bye.
later.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye.